All right, welcome back, everybody. We're doing our Unleashed Sealed set review. In some ways, doggy's running. In some ways, this is also a draft review, though. In draft, synergy is going to be more real, and you're going to have to evaluate based off what other people are picking. But this should work for draft as well, if that is commonplace in Unleashed. I am Emil, also known as Kitties. If you ever come up against me, it's Kitties with L's. I'll share a fun fact about myself. If you made it to this third one, I lost 100 elo playing Ari in Atlanta and going 4-3 and dropping. That's my fun story. Now let's get to the card review. I'm sorry, I'm gonna have to move back and forth here. I'll try to remember, but it might be off center. The first card we're looking at is Downstage Dramatics. This is a cantrip, so it's 2 energy, draw 1, but you can repeat it and draw another one. It also has reaction. I'm gonna say this is a good card. It's not an amazing card. It's kind of similar to the green card we looked at before that lets you look at the top card. It's just card advantage. There's not that much of this in this set that we've looked at so far. The flexibility is good. Reaction speed is good because you can hold up and then play it when your opponent goes, I don't want to contest, and you don't need that counter spell anymore. And actually, I'm going to try something different here because I feel like it might be annoying for people to not see the card. Because I can just click here and then I'll go back to that. But okay, we got to scroll down. Sorry for the delay. I'm a noob at this. So Downstage Dramatics, that's the one we just looked at. Make sure you guys can see this all right. Yeah, it's good enough. So yeah, that's my opinion on Downstage Dramatics. The next card is Dramatic Visionary. It's a 4 energy, 4 might, Death Knell, Predict 2. This card is very playable. It's not broken or anything, but for a limited format, this is a good on curve, on power level 4-drop that has a useful effect, especially in sealed. Eclipse. This card maybe it's I think it's good. Giving a unit -4 is significant. You have to predict, so again, you have vision. You get to scry 1 if you play magic. This card it's one of the better unconditionally good combat tricks we've seen in this set so far. It's not broken or anything, but it's good. If you're in blue, a lot of times you're gonna be including this in your pool. I think -4 is pretty significant. It doesn't have that old Origins text of down to a minimum of 1, so yeah, pretty good. And we have Fate Weaver. When you play me, you look at the top 4 cards of your main deck. You may reveal a spell of energy cost 4 or more from among them and draw it. Recycle the rest. So I'm gonna say this card is good in synergy. I'm trying to think. I guess we'll see as we go on, and I might move it down. But it really depends on what spells you have access to and how many. If you can pretty much guarantee that this is going to draw you a card, this card is pretty good. Iceveil Archer, this is playable. It's a 2-drop. When I attack, you may pay 1 to give a unit here -1 this turn. It's a playable 2-drop with sometimes a bit of an upside. It's not as good as some of the other 2-drops we've seen. Moonlight Affliction God. 7 energy. Give a unit -10 this turn. I mean, this is such like a Timmy card, and if we were playing best of 3, this would be like the kind of card that like you're like, yeah, I need to side this in because my opponent has something huge that I can't deal with any other way. I'm gonna put this in play if necessary. If you feel like you have no way to deal with big stuff, that's pretty much it. Ruined Rex, 6 mana recycle a blue for 6 might. Death knell, deal 4 to an enemy unit. This card is just good. This is just good value. You are pretty much getting an on rate 6 might. You have to do the extra recycle, but forcing your opponent to play around its death knell is pretty strong. There are big synergies in this set with this card. Like if you're playing the LeBlanc Legend, which I'm not sure how good it's going to be in Limited, but if you are playing the LeBlanc Legend, this card is really, really good with that. Yeah, just a good high value card. Easy 2-for-1 kind of card where like your opponent's going to have to trade something in and then you can kill something else. Even if they don't, if they just kill it, you're going to be able to kill something else a lot of the time. Just pretty good. Spectral Centaur. This card, 6 energy, 5 might. When another friendly unit dies, give me +2 this turn. I know someone who looked at this card and was like, wow, this card's good, man. Like, what if you have like 3 sprites die? Then it's a 6 might, 6 energy, 11 might for 1 turn. No, don't think like that, guys. Don't think about the best case scenario. Think about the average scenario. And on average, this card is going to be a 6 energy, 5 might, sometimes a 7 might. Very rarely bigger than that. I don't know. It's decent in like holding, I guess. It's decent in the LeBlancs, but they're better. Like just like a lot of times, you're gonna want to play one of the more regular 6 energy, 6 might units in this format. I mean, unless you have some really insane synergy going on, I would not recommend playing this card unless you're lacking bodies. Pretty much. Sprite Blast. Play 2/3 might sprite unit tokens with temporary for 5. This card's gonna go unplayable for me. You know, if you're looking for cards to draw with and to synergize with like having 4 cost spells or higher, like that card is playable. Otherwise, outside of synergy, I mean, it does make 2 units with haste. Like, this card is borderline good. I'm going to put this one in playable. I mean, I know we said we were analyzing them in synergy, but I don't know. Even in synergy, it's fair. It's a fair card. It's not a card that, like, destroys your opponent or anything. Turn to Dust. This card's bad, unfortunately. You just don't know if your opponent's going to be playing any gear that this is going to be useful against. This isn't Spirit Forge where everybody was playing gear, and even in Spirit Forge, I'm not sure how great this card would be. Like, you always have to consider that you're playing this in your deck instead of something else, and giving a gear temporary and then having to wait till your opponent's turn for it to die. You know, you're not coming up against Aurora and Sealed, luckily. So, yeah. Then we have Chakram Dancer, 3 energy, 3 might, ambush unit. So you guys know I love this. When you play me, give your other units your shield this turn. This card is good. You know, it just lets you make your board sometimes significantly bigger. It's a good combat trick that leaves a body. That card's good. That card's just good. In my opinion, it's on rate. If you're missing a turn 2 play, you can just play it. Like, anything with modality always seems kind of good to me. And the one mode is, hey, I need a 3-drop, and the other mode is, I'm gonna pay 3 mana to put permanent stats on board and give one or two or three even units +1 on this defend, and that's just good. Crescent Strike, action speed, 3 mana recycle blue, deal 4 to a unit and 1 to each other enemy there. I'm gonna say this card is. So here's the interesting thing about this card is it doesn't synergize with your form, or it is just a generically decent removal spell. Um, and you can play it in combat, so like you can go in with like 4 might, and your opponent can have like an 8 might unit, or no, let's say a 6 might unit, and then like two drops, and you can play this, deal 4 to the 6 might unit, assign 2 damage there, and then 1 and 1 to the other two, and all their units will die. But I don't know. I don't love direct removal and limited in this game, because direct removal is just not as well costed as buffs usually. Um, so it's just kind of a weird place because it's not necessarily going to work out all the time. You have to recycle to do this. So yeah. Deadly Flourish, deal 3 to an enemy unit. Similar story. I would say this is maybe it's about the same level of playable. The nice thing about this card is that you can target an enemy unit anywhere, including in base, and then you got that bonus of when it dies, plays a gold gear token exhausted. This has good synergy with the 4 spell or greater stuff, but it's nothing crazy. Yeah, it's nothing crazy. It's fine though. Frigid Jewel. This card's bad. Um, when you draw your second card each turn, give a friendly unit +2 this turn. Like, how many times are you gonna realistically trigger this in a game? Again, going back to the previous discussion of like what's the average outcome of this card. The average outcome of Frigid Jewel is probably like 0, right? Like most turns, this is gonna do nothing. Some turns, it's gonna give 1 unit +2. That's not good. This card is not good. And limited, I don't think it's good in. I don't think it's good in constructed either, but it's definitely not good in limited. And constructed, there's so many cards. I could be wrong. I haven't thought about it that much. In terms of Frigid Jewel, wasn't a card that I was like, oh, I need to do this. Like sure, I know there's some Ezreal player who's looking at this and it's like, this is the best thing ever, man. I get to draw 2 cards a turn so often. Sure, okay, yeah, maybe. Anyways, next we have Gustwalker. It's a 3 energy recycle blue, 3 might unit with Hunt 2, and if you're at level 3, I have +1 in ganking. This is kind of similar to that red card that we looked at earlier. In that, like, in synergy, it's like pretty playable. Outside of synergy, it's effectively unplayable. If you are doing a Blue Splash EXP build, sure. I guess you can play this, but it's, I don't know. This card is even worse, honestly. I think this is a play if necessary kind of card. Doesn't seem good to me. It's obviously it's not good out of synergy, but even in synergy, like, I don't know. Play three energy recycle blue for a 4 might with ganking is like it just it's good, but it's not like an insane payoff or anything. Um, yeah. Then we have a 2-drop here. This is a play if necessary 2-drop. This is a 2 mana 2 might. I have +1 for each of your units with temporary at my battlefield. If you're playing Lilia, like, I guess you can get this up to like +1 or +2, but it has to be at her battlefield. Like, it's a weird card because it implies that you want to hold with it, but you're playing temporary units, so they can just like run in and kill the pixie. They can just ignore your temporary units. Yeah, this card, if it wasn't a 2 drop, would be really bad, but sometimes you just need a 2 drop, so you play it. So that's play if necessary. Then you have this unit. This is a 5 energy, 3 might. Um, oh, also, how did I not think about that with the green Lilia when I was reviewing? I mean, I thought about it when I've read the card before, but anyways, if you watch my green review video, you saw that. But I mean, it's still like meh. It's just not that great. Anyways, back to blue. Soul Shepherd, your token units have +1. Again, if you're playing Lilia, like I guess this is sometimes good. Your sprites are 4 might. In Ivern plus blue, like you can give your birds +1. This card is probably more legitimate in Ivern than in Lilia, in my opinion, because you can actually set up your like bush holding strat with Ivern. But this card is like, I'm putting it in play if necessary because in synergy with Ivern specifically, it can be like, it's like a leader card. It gives everything +1. Out of synergy, this card is horrible. Like, you would never ever put it in your deck. But even in synergy, it's like meh. Like, you would probably rather play a lot of other synergy cards before that, I think. I do think that in Ivern, though, this does have some potential with the right list and sealed, but yeah, that's about it. Then we have Sprite Fountain. So, Sprite Fountain, very interesting card. I think this card is. I'm struggling between must play and good card. I think if you're playing blue, there's no way in hell you have a Sprite Fountain in your pool and you don't play it, because Sprite Fountain is the best turn 1 play in the game. Like, obviously it recycles you a blue, but you get to make 2 sprites. And yeah, sure, your next turn you're only playing, with 3 worth of, you're paying with 3 worth of mana. But whatever your opponent sent in to conquer, unless they held up mana, is not holding against the Sprite Fountain. Their turn 1 plays are not dealing with that, and you can push them with the first one. Like, you're getting to 2 points on board uh, before your opponent even knows what's happening, and that in itself is like really strong and limited. If you have some kind of synergy with this, like if you have the Lilia, let's say you pull like 3 of these, because it's an uncommon, that's not impossible, or even 2, and you have the Lilia legend, like, I think your opponent's just kind of cooked. Like, you're gonna have so much point tempo that like going down the extra mana at the start isn't gonna matter, because they're gonna have to go down mana to deal with that most of the time, or they're gonna have to sit there and watch you get to 4 points while they're at like 1. Then we have Diana, the blue Diana. So this is a 3 energy, 3 might. When a showdown begins here, you may pay 1. If you do predict, then reveal the top card of your main deck. If it's spell, draw it. Um, this card, if oop, where, sorry, I have them open for the one. This card is a good card. Um, it's almost a must play card. Like, if you're in blue, like, this is gonna be like, if you're in blue and you have no legend and you're not running any kind of synergy, like, this is probably one of the most solid chosen champ slots in the whole game. Because you just um you get to scry, you get to predict, right? You get to look at the top card of your deck, and then you can draw it for 1. For 1. So, and you can do that, multiple times. So you can like take a field, and then when your opponent contests back, You can do it too. So I would say this card is good. It's not busted or anything. It's crazy. It's potentially crazy value. It's on rate. It's good chosen champ because you like having these like you know two uh these 2 mana. Sorry, 2 mana. Whoops. You like having turn two plays in your chosen champ slot. I think that's like the best thing to do. If you can get a chosen champ slot, that's good value. This can be a turn one play too. Um, that lets you like if you lose the dice roll, you can just throw back your two drops and say, you know what, I'm just playing my Diana and I want better cards, so I can throw back my twos and play Diana turn one. This card is good. It's borderline must play. Depending on your pool, this card is must play. That's really what it depends on. Then we have. I didn't skip anybody, huh? No, okay. Okay, yeah. Then we have Pui. Uh, 5 energy, recycle one for 5 might. When I move, draw one, then discard one, then do the following based on the discarded card's type. If it's a spell, draw another one. If it's gear, ready up to 2 rune. And if it's unit, give me +3 this turn. I would say this card is good in limited. I think this card is good. It's just, you loot, you get rid of the worst card in your hand. Uh, and you get a little bonus effect. That's just good and limited. I just think that's good. Card selection is good, and the bonus is also good. Um, all his bonuses are decent. More often than not, it's going to be the spell or the unit. Drawing an extra card, like that's Ezreal on the move, potentially, if you think about it. That's just a good effect. Unit is going to be relevant sometimes. Gear is going to be the least relevant just because you're probably not playing that many gear. And readying 2 runes is good too. You have Keeper of Mass. This is a 2-drop, 1 might with temporary. And when you play me, play 2 reflection unit tokens here. They become copies of me. Um, so I'm guessing that means it copies the temporary as well. Uh, I don't know how I haven't noticed this card um, yet. Because this card seems really good in general. Well, I don't know about really good. It has potential in Lilia. And somehow I missed it. It has hidden. I think this is a play if necessary and sealed, but that card is pretty interesting. I do assume that the copies also have temporary. Being able. I don't want to go on a constructed tangent. I'm not going to go on a constructed tangent. But yeah, I mean, I guess if you have no other 2 drops, you play this. And then there's like funny scenarios where, like, if you're going second, you can play this turn one, have 3 temporary units, and trigger your Lilia. If you're playing Lilia, you probably play this as one of your 2 drops because it just makes your temporary stuff really cheap. Uh, I don't know if you even do play it in Lilia. I think you play this if you have to. Um, yeah. Maybe if you have, I don't want to skip too far ahead, but maybe if you have like a couple smoke and mirrors, it's good. So then here we have Lilia. This card is playable. It's borderline good. In synergy, this card can be pretty good. Like if you have the full Lilia package, if you have Lilia plus Lilia Legend, I think this is fine. I mean, it does have the accelerate aspect of it, which is, always good. Um, its effect is just not that relevant outside of synergy. So to me, this is playable, but it's not like great or anything. I guess it can go here. This goes higher. I don't know. Yeah. Um, yeah. Then you have Smoke and Mirrors. So this card is it's you choose two units. If one of them has temporary, you move them to each other's location, and you draw one. You can hide it. It's a cantrip. Cantrip is never terrible. This is playable. You'd rather play a card that you can use, but if you have any amount of like temporary stuff going on, um, it can be useful. This is almost a play if necessary. I think this is actually a play if necessary, even in synergy, without like super, without this Lilia specifically. Smoke and mirrors is not great. It's great with this because you can like run your Lilia in, play smoke and mirrors, swap it with the token she made in base when she moved to the battlefield, and then so that token goes in, and then as she leaves the battlefield she's attacking, she leaves another token behind. So for 5 mana, for 2 mana, you get to make an extra 3 might worth of stats, and the card replaces itself. That's pretty good. So if you're playing this as your chosen champ, Smoke and Mirrors is fine. Sprite Queen. I know some people who looked at this and were like, "Wow, so cool." Um, I think in limited, actually, this card cannot be underestimated. It's borderline good. It's expensive, 7 energy and a blue. But you get 6 might with it, and the next turn you get 3 more. So it's kind of like 7 energy and a blue for 9 might, split across two bodies, one of which dies, but then comes back in your base ready at the start of every turn. And I think that's actually pretty good in limited. So, in terms of limited, I'm gonna put this in the good card category. Stumpwork maps. This is a 2 energy gear with reaction. I think this is the first gear with reaction that isn't quick draw, which is the one that lets you play it and then equip it. Uh, but it has temporary, and when an opponent scores, draw one. This is a play if necessary, and it's borderline bad. I mean, like, okay, what's the best case scenario? Your opponent is setting up for a double conquer. When they go for the first one, you play this, you draw a card. They do it again, you draw another card. So you draw two, and your opponent just scored one. Um, I feel like you're kind of cooked in that position already, and I'm not sure that drawing, you know, this costs a card, so you draw two, but your net is +1. I'm not sure that's bailing you out of the game, and you had to hold up 2 mana to do it instead of just like developing something. So I'm gonna say its card is. Ah, man, I kind of want to say this card is bad. I think this card is just bad. I mean, nah, that card's just bad because a lot of times your opponent's not going to be setting up for a double conquer, and you're going to be paying 2 mana to use this as a cantrip only when your opponent contests. Like you would much rather play Smoke and Mirrors because at least you just always draw one. Like this is not a good cantrip. I hate to say it. Um, so Zillion, um, God, yeah, it copies your token once a turn. While it's at a battlefield. Uh, this card is a play if necessary. It would be bad except for the fact that you can get synergy with it, which would make it playable. But even then, it would. I mean, I don't know. I should just bite the bullet. I think this card is just not good. It has to be a battlefield to trigger, which is like a huge, huge condition. Uh, and if you, I don't know. It just sus. Blue Sentinels, so blue buff. So blue buff is better than red buff. Where did I put red buff? I hope I didn't put that in good. Yeah, okay, it's in playable. Thank God. Um, so blue buff though is good. I think. It is a 4 energy recycle blue for 4, but it has shield 2, so once it gets on there, your opponent's going to have to deal with it. And then when you hold, you get 2 recycle. I'm going to say this is good. Uh, Again, it's like a lot of these good cards. It's not like broken or anything, but it's just solid. If you're running blue, and this is in your pool, very few times are you not gonna want to just throw it in there. Um, okay, so this card, Gutter Palace. This is like the funniest card in the set, and it's terrible. It's actually horrible. Um, if you played this in sealed, I don't want to hear anybody going, I don't know why I'm losing. This card is so troll. This is like a pure for fun card. Looking at it competitively like is a waste of time. It's just a funny card, and I like the design, and I like that they're printing cards like that. It kind of sucks that it takes up an epic slot. I kind of wish they made this a rare because it's gonna feel really, really bad to pull this in your epic slot because yeah, it's terrible. If you don't know what it does, it's an Exodia type card. If at the start of your beginning phase you have exactly 4 cards in hand and 4 units on battlefields, you win the game, and then you can discard one and tap it to play a one might bird unit token with deflect. And I know some people are going to try to make this work and constructed with like time warp or something dumb. But and I think that's gonna be bad. But whatever you're trying to do with it, and sealed is 100 times worse somehow. Don't play this card. See if you can find someone to buy it off you for whatever it's selling for day one. Because this card is not good. Anyways, it's funny that I spent more time talking about this terrible card than a lot of good cards, but uh, again, like I said, like it is a funny card. I do like this kind of effect, and I'm happy it's not like actually strong or easy to pull off. And it's the kind of thing where every now and then someone is gonna pull it off, once in a blue moon, and it's gonna be that story you talk about with your buddies, and that's a good time. I like that. Um, then we have Blue Jin. So I think Blue Jin is just a good card, and I'm gonna explain why. So the thing about Blue Jin is that it is an on rate 4 drop with vision. So it's kind of like that other 4 drop, the one that is on rate, and when it dies, you get to look at 2 cards off the top and reorder them or put them on the bottom. Except you get to do this on entry, and then in synergy, this card is kind of nuts, especially in sealed. Like being able to just toss out that much tempo in terms of might. If you pull one of these and you have some synergy going, like I think it's worth giving a try. I think this is like definitely on the lower end of good because 4 might's just not that much might, and you really have to be able to consistently cheat these out for it to feel really good. But it's definitely like a good card. Um, and then the last card is LeBlanc, everywhere at once. So this is another on rate. And then I'm gonna put it in good as well because in synergy this card is pretty freaking good. If you're playing like Lilia with LeBlanc as your chosen champ, uh, that's pretty awesome. Or just like LeBlanc and sealed seems pretty awesome. So yeah, it's not like busted or anything, and it's pretty mediocre on its own. It's just an on rate 4, but in synergy, it's pretty good. Um, so yeah, this is the blue tier list. As you can see, for me, like the Sprite Fountain was the only like must play card in blue. Um, Maybe the Sprite Queen is like a must play card that maybe I'm under, and same with the Rex. Those are both really good cards. and one could argue even the blue buff is really good. But yeah, I'm not as high on the best cards in blue, but as you can see, like the curve is a little bit. You have some low lows. Maybe this is like a little rude to Zillion. Like this is Zillion can be play unnecessary, but you have some lowish lows, uh, and I don't know. You have a few more good cars than like red. It's important to remember that green has like a lot of synergy pieces in this good card thing, whereas like the blue cards are mostly unconditionally good outside of the last couple ones. Uh, yeah, I mean, it's tough, but no color is like really sticking out as like way better than the rest. Does seem like I decided green has less mid cards. Um, Lilia should probably be like this. Lilia's. I think I put it in there because of potential synergy, but yeah. Anyways, that was the blue set review. We're officially halfway through, and this is taking me way longer than I expected. So I hope you guys found this helpful. And as usual, share your opinions on anything that I said here. If I said something really stupid and missed something really obvious, feel free to call me out. If you agree with my takes, feel free to be nice about it. Have a good one.